Hey guys, Sam here again with another review. Just gonna be a really short one today. I've been reviewing a lot of products like software as services, installable softwares, those kind of things. One thing I want to branch out into doing is some shorter reviews, looking at sort of business development and training Kindle books and other ebooks and even print books that I've been reading. I'm a firm believer in reading a bunch of books, and I mean I use a Kindle myself. I haven't read a print book really in a long time, but I do read the occasional one. But yeah, basically what I want to do is start, I guess, yeah, reviewing books, training books and guide books and all those kind of things that I've been working with, or reading, I should say. And the first one I want to cover is something called Essential AdWords: The Quick and Dirty Guide, the Kindle edition of this by a guy called Kyle Sulerud. Sorry if I've pronounced your name incorrectly there. But yeah, I've been following Kyle's sort of AdWords training for a while now. He's got a like a really high-end AdWords training course that I'm hoping to buy at some stage. I think he closed the access to it recently, and it's about $1,000 course. It's obviously pretty niche, and it's really focused at creating effective AdWords campaigns for local services businesses. And then getting really good conversion rates and basically getting local service clients a good ROI and sort of trying to create a business, I guess, out of providing AdWords management to local service businesses. So I've been seeing, he's got a lot of promotions out on the Facebook news feed. He's got a AdWords group, I believe. I'm a member of it. I'm trying to think if he's the admin or just a moderator, something like that. I'll double check. But yeah, basically, I didn't even know he had a cheap guide available. But someone had mentioned it in a comment on one of his posts on Facebook that they'd purchased his Essential AdWords: The Quick and Dirty Guide on Kindle. And I thought, I'll give that a shout, and jumped over to Kindle, and lo and behold, it was like 75% off, $2 or something like that was the price. I thought I'll buy it and just give a quick read. So look, all I'm going to do is super briefly cover what it is, what I like about it, what I don't, and is it worth reading. So as the name suggests, Essential AdWords: The Quick and Dirty Guide is a basic guide to Google AdWords. And yeah, it's a short Kindle ebook. You could probably read through the whole thing in about half an hour. It costs a few dollars, the price of a coffee or something like that. And it just contains a whole list of, I guess, things you need to know to sort of, I suppose, have a good understanding of the basics of AdWords. This is not a super detailed, complex guide. It's not a in-depth strategy that you sort of boilerplate strategy you can apply to multiple clients or anything. It's just giving you a grounding in the platform. And yeah, so what I'll do is I'll talk quickly about the things I like about it and the things I don't, and is it worth your time to actually go out and buy this and read it. So the thing I like is that it's most of all is that it's really hard hitting. It is short, but I mean, at $2 I paid for it. It's who cares how short it is? Even if it was 3 or 4 pages long, as long as the information was good, it's worth a buy at that price. And I'm pleased to say that the information that's in there is really good. There's a lot of very valuable insights that you can glean from this that if you did, I mean, I've been doing AdWords for a long time, but if you were new to AdWords and you didn't know what Kyle was talking about, there's a lot of settings he awares you to, and sort of things you need to know about the platform that if you get them wrong, you can blow through a lot of money quickly. You can run campaigns that aren't particularly effective. And basically I think his goal with this quick and dirty guide to AdWords is to provide you with, I guess, enough information to be dangerous, or perhaps I should say enough information to not make massive stuff ups with your AdWords account, that'll cost you or your client loads of money. So he covers all sorts of things like network settings. So what are the different campaign types and what are they good for? Um, how to get into the right mindset with keywords. So that's a really valuable section, actually. How to think like potential customers are thinking. So you pick good keywords. He talks about negative keywords. And actually, really interesting point that he raises here, and the more I think about it, the more it's true, is he talks about the fact that really, you can make or break a campaign on negative keywords. A lot of people don't think enough about negative keywords that they don't use enough of them. But if you're smart with AdWords and really master the art of negative keywords and avoiding your ads showing for search terms that aren't relevant or are going to lead to clicks that generate conversions, and you do this by using negative keywords that are, you know, you've either researched or you think would be appropriate or whatever. Um, Mastery of negative keywords saves you a lot of money, improves results of the campaigns, and it can really be the difference between a campaign that works well and one that's a total failure. He talks about conversion optimization. He talks about how to write ads. He talks about basic campaign settings you should know. And look, none of it's in huge detail or huge depth, but what's there is actually really good and really hard hitting. Certainly, it's what I'm going to do is just come out and just say, hey, look, this is buy this book. It's worth buying simply for the fact that you can read it in, a lunch break, probably at work, or on the bus on the way to work, or, and while you're waiting for your plane to depart at the departure lounge or anything like that. Read it before you go to bed, and you'll get a really good grounding in basic settings you need to know about AdWords, and more importantly, a few areas where you really need to be aware of to get good results. Basically, picking good campaign settings, picking keywords that strike at the heart of what your target audience is looking for, and how to use negative keywords to avoid wasting money. Because that's what you've got to remember, is every click on your ads that doesn't lead to a conversion or doesn't lead to a positive brand interaction that will turn into a conversion down the track, it is wasted money. And I've worked on AdWords accounts where, I mean, one I worked on, for example, the client was spending about $1,000 a month on AdWords. Not a huge amount, but he was a small business. He'd set it up himself because, like a lot of small business owners, he didn't want to pay. I can do it myself. And he came to me and said, "Oh, look, I've done it myself, and I can't understand why my AdWords account isn't performing." And he'd done only broad match keywords, everything in the same ad group in the same campaign. He had display add-on under search network, which is a terrible option. And over the last month, he'd been running that campaign. He'd spent $1,000, and I was able to work out that about $970 of that was spent on totally irrelevant clicks that had nothing at all to do with what he was selling. Um, and if he'd read Kyle's book, the AdWords, The Quick and Dirty Guide, well, he probably would have avoided a few of those mistakes. So yeah, Essential AdWords, The Quick and Dirty Guide by Kyle Sulerud. Look, it's not perfect. It's really short. It's basic, but the information is hard hitting. It's cheap. You can read it on Kindle. You don't even need a Kindle. You can just read it on the web reader. I recommend checking it out. It's well worth a buy, and I can't wait to have a look at his full course one day.